bigger, faster, and stronger than Hurricane Andrew. A storm of this size could have effect statewide.
Folks, that was the declaration about Hurricane Irma, a record-breaking and potentially catastrophic storm moving closer to the United States. It is still a Category 5 storm, packing winds of 180 miles an hour. It has hit a number of Caribbean islands. The nation of Barbuda, 90% of its structures have been severely damaged or destroyed. Also, it's hit Antigua, the Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico. Irma hit the Caribbean with winds up to 185 miles an hour, making it one of the strongest storms ever recorded in the Atlantic. In fact, it's the strongest storm ever recorded in the Atlantic. So far, there are actually 8 deaths total, 2 in the French Caribbean and 1 in Anguilla, several others in some of the other islands as well. Donald Trump has declared a state of emergency in Florida, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands, where some 100,000 people are going to be impacted. The hurricane is expected to reach Florida this weekend. Right behind Irma is Hurricane Jose, which is said to be on a similar path, as well as Tropical Storm Katia is now off the coast of Mexico and expected to become a hurricane as well. That means the Caribbean is not out of the clear just yet, which raises concerns for countries such as Haiti. Of course, they are still struggling to recover from that devastating earthquake in September of 2010. Joining us on the phone from Port-au-Prince, Haiti, is Jacqueline Charles. She's the Caribbean Haitian correspondent for the Miami Herald. Jacqueline, you were trying to get out of the country on yesterday. How difficult has that been?
Well, I have to tell you, I have aborted my plans to leave the capital and to try to head to the north after the storm moved up its timing. We were expecting it in the north of Haiti around 8 p.m. this evening, but it is expected to be here sometime this morning. It is already raining in the northeast part of Haiti. We expect rain in the next few hours in Haiti, which is the second largest city in this country. I have to tell you, if there's a country in the Caribbean that is the most vulnerable, it is Haiti, with 11 million citizens that is still recovering not just from the earthquake, but also Hurricane Matthew, which plummeted the southern peninsula last year. And even though Haiti is not in line to receive a direct hit, any amount of rain in this country that is severely deforested can be catastrophic.
How have our folks in Haiti preparing? We're seeing what's happening on these other countries, largely inhabited by African Americans. By people of color. You have, of course, the Bahamas that being impacted. Jamaica's talked about the amount of rain they're going to get. Antigua, also St. Kitts, St. Nevis. Those are nations where folks look just like us. They are having to brace for this massive storm.
Well, and I have to tell you that that is the biggest concern of myself and other journalists here that are covering the storm, is the lack of preparation and whether or not the population, especially in the north, that they are even aware that Hurricane Irma is coming. As an example, I can tell you that evacuations were not even slated until this morning of areas that are flood-prone, that are most vulnerable. I'm not sure whether or not that order has even been given and whether it's going to start. There's an island off the northwest coast of Haiti, Ile de la Tortue. This is where Pirates of the Caribbean, the movie that everybody loves, is based off of. And this island is going to be most exposed to Irma. And again, we haven't heard any reports of people being evacuated from there. So the lack of preparation, I can't ever remember it being this severe.
And is that because, what, did folks just not think this was going to get this big, this fast? We're talking about the strongest hurricane recorded ever in the Atlantic. At one point, it was packing winds of 200 miles an hour. It's now peaked at about 180 miles an hour. And I don't know, of course, many buildings in that zone that could withstand that sort of hurricane. They're not constructed for those type of winds.
Well, I tried to get the Prime Minister yesterday to address this question of why the government has been so slow out the gate to just even warn the population that this hurricane is coming, and he didn't want to discuss it. I was sitting in on a planned meeting yesterday, and even among the international aid workers who are here on the ground ready to assist, they were also concerned. Why was the announcement on the closure of schools done so late? Why if the shelters are not up and running? Those don't even have to do with money. But there is a money issue. This is a fairly new government. The country is broke. International aid is about 50% down from what it was after the earthquake in 2010. So we're not even sure in terms of pre-positioning supplies. What's available, what has been pre-positioned in order to respond. There's also the issue of roads. And one of the reasons why I decided not to leave out of the capital was because it takes 6 hours minimum by road to get to vacation. It's not a 6-hour drive, but because of the poor roads and the lack of roads between the capital and the second largest city, you can get caught in a situation where it's raining and you have bridges that are collapsing, blocked roads that are blocked. So that's also a concern of many and even the government, which does say that it does have heavy equipment pre-positioned in some places to start to clear roads should the storm create a lot of damage.
All right, then. Well, Jacqueline, look, you certainly stay safe. I've, of course, I've had to live through 3 hurricanes. Hurricane Alicia passed the eye of that storm, and the tail passed over our home in Houston's Clinton Park neighborhood in 1983. And so it is not anything to mess with. And so we'll check back with you. And again, stay safe.
All right, thank you for having me.
All right, thanks a bunch.
Weekdays on TV One.
I will never lie to you.
Oh, my God.
Roland Martin.
He doesn't want to talk to us. He wants to ignore us.
Uncensored.
Hell no.
That ain't gonna cut it, boo.
Unapologetic.
No, that is fundamentally false. You are wrong.
Unfiltered.
He wants an America where we all look alike. He ain't talking about black people.
Unrelenting.
You better go work out, because you got a fight on your hands.
NewsOne Now with Roland Martin. Weekdays at 7 a.m. on TV One.